Warning, this show may contain naughty language, puerile humour, and a total lack of knowledge of the subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
It's right up to the elbow, man. I couldn't believe it. It was right up to the elbow.
Hold on a second. Shit. Hi Nerdtopians, welcome to NerdtopiaScope. This is episode 1 of a brand new show being brought to you from NerdtopiaCast.com.
I am Chris Ulfrich. You'll know me from the site as the horror writer. I also do a few TV reviews and as well maybe dive into the subject of mental health. The man to my right will be Doug the Goat.
Yeah, and I'm here because it's my camera.
Basically, all the show is two guys sitting down talking about a random nerdy subject every week.
Planet of the Apes. The remake of Planet of the Apes, not the original one, but the remake one, where it turns out that the big twist at the end is that they were on an alien planet all along and it wasn't Earth.
Spoilers.
Yeah. Oh yeah, if you haven't seen this film, it's like, 10 years old now,
yeah.
So...
Where have you been?
Where have you been? I refuse to call spoilers on any film that's been out for longer than a decade, because you should have seen it already, just Google that shit. So yeah, Planet of the Apes. It is actually an alien planet after all, and the apes have all descended from the test monkeys that were all on the spaceship when it crashed. So yeah, fine with that, I can accept that. Where did the horses come from? Were they also testing them? Why would you be testing horses in space? It's just stupid.
It's a stowaway.
Yeah, stowaway, just like a random horse. Someone just was feeding it. A bit like Red Dwarf, maybe that's it. Yeah, why? So yeah, and if the horses...
It was a polymorph.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, it was a polymorph. It was going to suck all their emotions out. Yeah. But yeah, if the apes had evolved into a much better creature, why didn't the horses evolve into anything else? Why weren't there horse people, like centaurs or?
Because they like being ridden.
Ah, dirty horses. I mean, there's a scene at the end as well that doesn't make sense, where he actually gets back to real Earth, and it turns out that everyone is actually a gorilla already. And it's a bit like, what? That makes no sense. But Tim Burton did actually turn around and say, that doesn't make any sense. I just did that for a laugh, which is his prerogative as director, I suppose. But he still made no effort to explain those goddamn horses.
Die Another Day. Epic beginning to a film. Hovercrafts, guns, explosions, North Korea. Brilliant. James Bond gets to the end of a road that he's just been followed down on hovercrafts. 2 seconds behind him, a car pulls up. Not a problem, you think. Well, the reason James Bond is on a hovercraft is because the road he's just been using is full of landmines. How did the car follow him?
Maybe it was like a car hovercraft and you just didn't see it. Maybe it was...
Well, it'd work if it was chitty chitty bang bang.
Yeah, that would have been a bit weird though, I think, wouldn't it? I think it probably would have drawn you out the story if suddenly Dick Van Dyke with his goggles on had come past him.
Singing Toot Sweet.
Yeah, that would have been a bit... Did he sing that one? Yes, he did, didn't... Or was it the girl that sings? No, it's the woman that sings that one.
I don't know.
We have never watched Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. We're men.
Manly men.
Manly men. Men in tights. No, scratch that one. Gremlins. All of them. Doesn't matter which one, just any of the Gremlins films. But why can you not feed them after midnight? That time is a human concept. So there is no way, it's after midnight. Is it after midnight in England or America or were they from China? Is it from? Yeah, they're from China, aren't they? Yeah, is it from China? Do you have to set your watch to Chinese time to make sure you don't feed your mogwai at the wrong time and all hell breaks loose? It just makes no sense at all. Getting them wet, fine. Feeding them after midnight, when's midnight?
Okay, next up, Revolution, the new TV series. The whole premise of the show is that the worldwide electrical grid gets completely knocked out. No machines can be built, no machines can be fixed. Basically, we're living back in the dark ages. Except the one family that has a magical necklace. We don't know why yet, but this necklace is the only thing that works, and it'll make every machine around it come back to life.
Is it a battery? I haven't seen this show, so I'm just wondering, is it
a battery?
That's it. It's just like, a Duracell D-cell hanging around a neck.
Hanging on a necklace.
No one's clocked this because they've all forgotten about electricity.
Yes. Well,
I thought it was a rabbit.
Basically, we are now 15 years in the future, and they have still got this necklace, but they're living back in the dark ages. Nobody's figured that, well, hang on, we have this necklace, we could live like kings, sod the rest of the world, we'll just we'll have our microwaves and our ovens, and everybody else can do what they want to do. I mean, basically, they could be the kings of the world,
but they just fail.
But they just fail at realising that they have this technological wonder that could make them rule the world.
There's a word for people like that. Idiots.
Oh, I was thinking Canadians.
Oh, Canadians, yeah, that's another one.
Gonna rule the world, eh?
I'm gonna rule the... There's no Canada like French Canada. It's the best Canada in the land. Armageddon for Bruce Willis. Armageddon! The Armadillo, the all-singing, all-dancing space truck thing that they've got, has got miniguns on it. And they don't really explain why it has miniguns on it. It just seems like, oh, we're going to an asteroid. Let's take heavy weaponry with us. You know, our main issue is to destroy this asteroid. Let's do it with miniguns. This is another one where there is a deleted scene, though, that does have them referred to as debris eliminators, following, you know, the standard US military idea of going, there's something in our way. How do we remove it? Shoot at it. So, yeah, that explains that. But then there's a further bit of story to that as well, to say the only reason that was done is because originally there was a toy line to go with the film. Then you could buy like a little, like, Bruce Willis and things like that. And somebody told Michael Bay that if he put guns on the armadillo, they would sell more toys. So that's the real reason why they're there.
Well, miniguns do make everything there.
Well, yeah, I'd buy anything with a minigun on it. Like a mobile phone with miniguns. Yeah,
definitely.
That's what they should start doing. Giving away free in cereal. You remember when you used to get the toys free in cereal?
Yes.
They don't do that anymore because they're cheapskates, but yeah. Free minigun!
You'd probably be able to tell which pack they were in, to be honest.
Yeah, it's one that's sort of bulging about this sort of large and it takes 5 people to lift the damn thing.
Phantom Menace. Just the whole film. That's it.
Jurassic Park 2, The Lost World. Okay? Quite a good...
They found it.
Well, yeah, they found it. They're previously lost until we got to it and found it world. But that's sort of the film. It's lost before that point. So, yeah. The sort of last third of the film is based back in San Diego, where they've captured a couple of T-Rexes, shoved them in a boat, and sailed them all the way across. And as there's the big thing waiting, as they're all about to, receive these 2 dinosaurs into San Diego. Sounds a bit rude, doesn't it? But the ship comes in, doesn't stop, it just crashes into the dock, and they discover that all the crew have been killed. However, the T-Rexes are still in the hold, and they never explain what actually kicked off and decided to kill everything on the ship. Turns out that there is a deleted scene which did have a raptor on board the ship that stowed away that kills the crew just before it hits land, and then it hops off and runs away. However, they cut this because they thought it would leave an unresolved issue of a raptor also running around San Diego, which is potentially worse than having a T-Rex, because...
You know you're going to see it coming.
You know where a T-Rex is.
Yeah.
Raptors are a little sneakier. But even if they had included that scene, it doesn't sort of clear it up overly, because the ship was already in line with the dock as it was coming in. But the raptor must have waited until the precise moment that the guy had gone, right, yes sir, we're ready, we're in line with the dock, run out, killed everyone really quickly, and then jumped overboard. So that's one smart raptor.
You might took a course in nautical.
In nautical, yeah, it had done the training, because you do
Yeah.
need a qualification to bring a ship into dock, so
Yeah.
maybe the raptor had done that quietly on the island.
It's the old Memmy, the raptor.
He was, the thoughtful raptor doing his Open University degree, just to the Lost World. You know, they're just sending it over, he's filling it in and sending it back. And he's like, oh yes, I'm a qualified sailor. I'm getting out of here one day.
Yeah, I will make it off this island. That's it. Thanks for nerding out with us, guys. That was the first show.
Yeah, and as we mentioned before, this is a brand new show, so we really need your feedback on what works, what doesn't. If you want to see any particular topics or anything like that, please leave us a message in the comments below, or you can email us at NerdtopiaScope@feralgoatfilm.co.uk, and the address will probably be sort of underneath us somewhere along here. And don't forget to go to NerdtopiaCast.com and check out all the awesome podcasts. They've got Filmtopia Cast 3000, which is just all about movies. They've got the normal podcast, which is just about awesome stuff, and then there's loads and loads of articles, new stuff every day. So NerdtopiaCast.com, check it out.
And don't forget to swear your loyalty to Overlord Bass Rap. Trust me, that guy knows if you do not.
Yeah, and you don't want to be on the wrong side of him when the revolution comes.
Also, just before we go, let's say big congratulations to Erica and Steve on the birth of their first son.
Woo! Oh God, that's amazing. Oh yeah, buddy.
You got chocolate on my peanut butter.
You got peanut butter on my chocolate.